Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Moonrise Human Design Podcast. My name is Nadia, and I'm sitting across from Sam, and we are very excited to introduce our very first channel video to the general public, to you, to your listening ears for free. And this channel video is one of 36 channels and also 64 gates that's available in our deep dive Gates Plus Channels human design course that we now have available in self-paced format for $275. It's very exciting. We have made this very intentionally accessible. The price point is the cost of basically an individual reading that you can book online with a reader. And there are over 100 videos that are available in this course. And we're so proud of it that we're like, hey, we should just make some of these videos available so people can get a flavor and a taste. Don't take our word for it, so that you can sort of like feel into how different this gates and channels content is from what is available out there. Sam, what is a channel?
A channel is so when you look at your chart, you'll see, unless you're a reflector, reflectors don't have any channels. Everyone else, the other 99% of the population, has at least one channel. And a channel is the line that connects two centers together. So it's where two gates together. There's basically like these road systems, and this is where like the road is filled in. And so most people have somewhere between like 2 and 5 channels. Some have less, some have more, but the majority have that. It's also be written in your when you pull up your chart, the names of your channels and where they are. And a channel, you can think of it as, again, your gifts. We have a lot of things that are gifts in human design, but these are the very unique and specific ways that you impact people and gifts that you have the ability to fully actualize on your own. Meaning that some of our other gifts, we kind of need help. We maybe are guiding, but we need someone to guide, or depending on a lot of different factors in your chart. We There'll be factors where maybe the gift doesn't operate as well as on its own. Here, these gifts are ready to go. And so understanding your channels helps you understand just specifically what skills are innate to you and what qualities are innate to you and are meant to be used on a regular basis. Nadia, any other way that you would frame that?
Early in my human design study, a teacher described them as super gifts. And I think that that's a really wonderful way to phrase it, because on either end of the channel is a gate that is activated in your chart. And so if gates are our gifts and you have both of them connected to sort of form this highway of energy that's constantly available to you, this is the energy that you are projecting out into the world that other people can feel from you. It is a super gift. It is a way in which you are here to sort of like lean into the energetics of, yes, I'm here to receive information from other people and be very receptive to the energy of others. We all are. But there are also ways that I'm here to put myself out there, to put myself into the world, to share my uniqueness with others. And I think that the study of channels is a very really empowering way to understand, okay, how do I share my gifts with the world? And what are those gifts that are available to me from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed? They're never gone. And even if you are in a time or a season of your life where you don't feel like you're using the gifts, it's always within you. There's an ember that never goes out. And so the contemplation or the meditation of your channels helps you better understand, okay, like I am really good at this. And what if I leaned into it a little bit more? Or maybe this uncovers a very long lost dream that I had from many years ago, or even childhood, that feels very empowering just to see in this chart. Like, okay, I wasn't just making that up. I am really good at this and I can lean into it.
It can help us see and accept parts of ourselves that we maybe are like, is that true? Or I don't know. And then we see this on the outside and it just kind of confirm this knowing of like, no, I do have that. So
Yeah.
like one of my channels talks about my competitiveness and this like desire to be ambitious. And I've always been ambitious, but when I started on my spiritual path, I was like, oh, should I not be ambitious? Should I be more passive? Should I just kind of like surrender to the flow? And I learning about human design was like, no, you're meant to want to be ambitious. Now you can do that with a lot of love for yourself and for others and a lot of presence. There's a high vibe way to do it, but it's important to you and you don't need to let go of that. And when I've had different health setbacks and I lose that ambitious quality, sometimes I'll also get nervous, oh, am I going to lose it forever? And it's like, no, it's an innate part of me. It just went away for a little bit because I'm sick and tired and I need to rest, and then it'll come back. And so it can be this tool that we can reach for. All of human design can, but I think channels, especially, can be this tool that we reach for to calm us down when or give us, ground us when we feel a little bit lost or disoriented, to pep us up when we've maybe forgotten what we're good at, and to point us in the right direction.
So well said, Sam. Yeah, so we're going to introduce a channel today that's kind of all the channels are special, but the reason why this channel is special is because a lot of the babies born on our planet this year will have this channel in their chart because it's just sticking around for a really long time. There's this thing called transits in human design, which is basically which planets are transiting or in specific gates over time. And the North Node and also I should look at the
Jupiter.
Jupiter, thank you so
Yeah.
much, are these sort of like slower moving celestial bodies or pathways that if it's in a gate for some time, it will stay there for some time. And so the two aspects that are activated right now are gates 35 and gate 36, and they connect this channel that we're going to talk about today. And so it's just super interesting because not only are all of us being conditioned by this energy this year, it's a very emotional, passionate, adventurous, spirited energy. But a lot of the babies that are born right now are going to have this in their charts in perpetuity so that they can share this with the world. So we find this just like a really interesting study of energy.
And so, just to expand on this a little bit more, this is kind of an advanced concept. We talk a bit about it in our course, Human Design Training, which is our like extreme deep dive course, available self-paced. You can buy it today and start learning. But transits are essentially what the astrological weather is. So even if you've never heard that term, if you're watching this video, probably you're a little bit familiar with this concept. Right now, we're recording this in early March. It's Pisces season. And so the sun is transiting through Pisces. That's just what it means. It's the astrological weather right now. You may have celebrated a new or full moon before, maybe a new moon in Aries or a full moon in Virgo, and like that would actually be transits. That concept also applies to human design. And so your chart is a reflection of what the astrological weather was the moment you were born and 88 days before you're born. And so, but we all keep being impacted by the astrological weather throughout our lives. This is basically this idea that there's this kind of underlying energy or frequency that is more subtly impacting us. So, right now, we all might be getting lessons in this channel of transitoriness, but also because it's astrological weather, babies born this year have it. It's an emotional channel. It's a manifestor channel. So people with this channel would be a manifestor, a manifesting generator. It connects the solar plexus to the throat. And anybody with this channel would have an emotional authority. And what I like to think about is how these kids might have their entire daycare, or like or half of their daycare, or half of their class is going to be a manifestor MG, plus like any of the ones statistically before. So like more than half the class. They're going to have a high bump in those energies for this year, which I just think is really fun. I don't actually know how long this lasts, but I've had a lot of friends who are having babies right now. And so I've been looking at their different charts throughout the year, and I just know like it's here for like at least 6 months, 5 or 6 months.
Yeah. So welcome to the wonderful, mysterious, specific, empowering, inspiring, uplifting world of channels and human design. We're really excited for you to dive in with us. And if you're interested in purchasing the course that's just Gates and Channels, that's available right now, instantly downloadable for $275. We're really excited about it. But without further ado, here is our video depicting the 3536 channel of transitoriness. 3635, the channel of transitoriness. Very wordy word, but transitoriness simply means that there are many different transits or ways to move through life, many different seasons of life. And this transitoriness, it means that it's a life in motion. So if you have this channel, you'll see it's pointed out right here. That means that you have a defined throat connected through gate 35, the ability to speak lived experiences into the world, tinged with emotional energy to move people and help progress humanity forward, connected to a defined solar plexus, which governs your you will have an emotional authority if you have this channel. So this is a very, very important channel to study and contemplate and sit with the energy of if you have this in your chart. And it's connected through gate 36, which is the ability to move through experiences that are high stakes, that are more crises, that are hard and challenging sometimes, and the emotional energy to move through those periods. So together, this energy, I always think of like a nomadic human because this energy is adventurous. It will want to move beyond the mundane aspects of life and really experience all that life has to offer. So it says in human design, the literature says a design of a jack of all trades. And this energy, this transitoriness is because you're constantly on the move and you'll be able to have a lot of different life experiences. You are driven through your defined solar plexus to experience new adventures that promise something new and better in your life. You did not sign up to have a boring life if you have this channel in your chart. However, your journey is meant to be an emotional one. You're meant to lead with your heart as you gather this wisdom experientially. I'm thinking of like an eat, pray, love experience. Like that book is very moving emotionally because there's like this person is traveling through the world with their heart open to connecting, to feeling, to experiencing everything fully. You will be pushed along by the ever-changing tides of your emotional wave. It's not a static process. There's motion with the emotions that are moving up and down. You might find yourself disappointed or let down if an experience doesn't meet your expectations. However, there's this maturation process that occurs through having this channel that will bring you a ton of depth into your own emotional truth as you experience more and more things. And that will give you this perspective to share with the collective. And we will be hungry for what you have to share after you move through life and move through all of your various travels. We will want to hear from people who have this channel. You really have the ability and the gift of bringing voice to a range of emotional experiences, including and maybe even especially the difficult ones.
Mm. Anybody who has this channel, as Nadia said, is an emotional authority, but they're also going to be a manifester or a manifesting generator no matter what, because you have a motor center connected to the throat. And so because of that, there's this energy of a motor to the throat that brings spontaneity. Not that they necessarily should, because you have emotions, you want to wait on things, but there's this desire like, let's change things. Let's go after it. Let's go fast. Let's make things happen in our world. And that's what is in part leads us to like, I want to have experiences. I want to go out there and do it. I'm drawn to this. Either they're going to have a manifestor urge or they're going to have the sacral response. And so in this case, it's the image on this slide is a manifestor. So, excuse me, I have this desire and I want to go make it happen. And that drives these people to go want to experience things, to want to experience the up and downs, to want to experience kind of the whole breadth of what life has to offer. I think really this entire kind of flow right here is all about experience, and experiencing all the different things that you're drawn to. As the slide says, pushed along by the ever-changing tides of your emotional wave, you might find yourself disappointed or let down if an experience doesn't meet your expectations. And so these people will need to get familiar with disappointment. Brené Brown defines disappointment as when expectations are not met. You will have some expectations and you'll have things you want to experience in a certain way. And so it's not that you necessarily never have expectations. I think it's kind of inevitable. A lot of times in spirituality, it's like, have no expectations. But I just think expectations are somewhat inevitable. I think we can reduce our condition, reduce the conditions that we put on things or needing things to unfold in a very specific way. But I think expectations are what allows us to get excited, to have desire, to pursue things, and what makes us be willing to say yes. Like if you have no expectation that a vacation is going to be fun, then you probably wouldn't go on it. Sometimes expectation is what allows us to commit our energy. And I think disappointment is a part of this. And so it's not that it's innate because of something about your energy, but it's because you're drawn to explore and experience. Part of experiencing will lead you to a variety of of different situations, and some of those will be disappointing. And so the more that you can learn how to navigate disappointment, how to be wise with it, how to see what do I need in disappointment. So I don't yell at a loved one, or I don't freak out, or I don't shut down, but instead I'm like, wow, I'm disappointed. I'm going to go take a nap. I'm going to go on a solo walk. I'm going to go take myself to dinner. I'm going to journal about it. Like I'm going to recoup. So then maybe tomorrow I can have a fresh day and explore it with kind of like a new level of enthusiasm that maybe you can't feel right now.
It feels important to say that if you only have this channel, you will be a manifester. It's each of the channels are kind of categorized. If you only had that channel, what energy type would you be? So there's a lot of manifester energy here. And so I would say that really recognize the urges that you have. That disappointment is teaching you. That disappointment is going to always push you beyond to bigger and better, more exciting things in your life. It's a drive that you will have throughout your life. But are you letting the people in your life into that? Are you letting them in? I always think about travel with this channel. It could be physical travel or sort of like an analogy, that travel is an analogy for sort of like bigger, richer, fuller life experiences. But I know a lot of people with this channel who are like, yeah, travel is a necessity for my mental and emotional well-being. And if you're planning out trips for the next couple years, who are you letting into those plans? Who is able to support you? Are you informing people about what it is that you want to do and what it is that you have intentions to go out and experience in this lifetime so that other people can be brought along if they want to be?
Yes, yes. Also, because this is connecting your solar plexus to your throat, your voice for your emotional experiences, your voice for emotional experiences, for emotional wisdom. So, one, I think developing a intimate awareness of your emotions will really serve you, and learning how to articulate them. If you aren't articulating them, practice articulating them to yourself. So that just means maybe every day checking in with yourself. How am I feeling? You can pull up an emotions wheel, this Google emotions wheel to give you a bunch of options. How am I feeling today? And then practice articulating it to others, expressing it to friends, close friends, roommates, family, um, noticing what emotions are challenging to express, what feels really vulnerable. Because this is the way your energy flows, there's gifts in it and being able to do that. And the more you open to it, the more you'll probably realize those gifts. But I also think these energies are meant to be expressed out. So it's likely an important way that you navigate your emotions. That expressing them helps to kind of release the pressure valve or helps you understand them more. Any of their channels, they're not really meant to be suppressed. And so if we are suppressing them, if we're not kind of allowing that energy to move between the two, or never communicating how we feel, it's going to go somewhere, and probably somewhere that creates a set of challenges on its own.
Yeah, you didn't choose a boring life with this channel, so get out there, go experience everything that there is to experience, and we can't wait to hear about everything that you go out and do in this lifetime on the other side when you share with others.
Mm.